Okay, Lady Ada, what is this?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show and tell. It's our weekly 20-minute tour of hackerspaces and makers from around the world. They come by and show off their project. They're maybe doing 3D printing or cosplay or crafting or sewing or electronics, and they'd love to share what they're up to, including some folks from the Adafruit community. So come on by. We're on StreamYard till 7:50 or so. But let's start off until more people show up. We'll kick in with some Adafruit peeps, starting with Brent.
Hello.
Hello. What are you up to?
I must have a black thumb or something because I keep making these IoT planter guides.
Yeah.
This is the third one so far.
You have a lot of plants, I heard.
I know. I have a lot of plants. And the first two, one of them was for Microsoft Azure, and then the other one is for Google Cloud, their IoT core service. And the last one we have is like our final IoT service supported by CircuitPython, which is AWS IoT. And I have our planter over there.
Oh, that's a nice planter.
And it's a smaller plant. It's actually not great for the stemma sensor because it doesn't go all the way in. Not very accurate, but it looks nice. So a few things about this that are different than the other guides. This guide goes up in difficulty a little bit than the other guides. AWS uses a layer of security above what the other services use. So other services will have a root CA certificate that the device authenticates with, which we have. And then AWS has a device authentication layer that sits on top of that. And it's a little bit difficult, and it took us a while to get it working in CircuitPython. And you actually have to update the ESP32 on the back of your Pi portal, and there's a guide about it on like the firmware needs to be updated before you can even approach this guide. But once you have it, it's the easiest way to use AWS with, I think, any hobbyist electronics platform or any electronics platform. You drag and drop the certificate file on, you drag and drop the key file on, and then you're fully provisioned, and you can start coding. And it uses our mini MQTT client, which handles all of the network stuff for you. So reconnections, disconnections, last will and testament, everything's handled for you. And it even has nice helpers for device shadows. And the guide takes you through all of that, even up until setting up an email alert for when your plant is thirsty and needs more water. So that's the AWS planter I built this week.
Amazing. And this was many weeks in the making because you had to do the crypto SSL security stuff step by step to get it, because nobody's done that yet with the ESP32 as a client. So it's pretty exciting because you actually added a new capability that was not there before. And I think we'll see more IoT services. They're going to add this, now that AWS has it. Mm-hmm. So we're going to take a break and do a couple other projects, and maybe later we'll revisit this and then use the ECC 608 or other secure crypto store. So even though right now it's really easy to drag and drop certificate, maybe we'll make it even easier where you use an external chip to do that for you.
Yeah, you can actually use the chip to generate a certificate signing request, and you can use it with AWS IoT, but you can't store it on the chip itself. This certificate is stored on the file system, which is very secure, but it is really fast.
Okay.
That's always the trade-off.
Well, as you're learning AWS IoT, it is the easiest way to use AWS IoT by far.
Oh, yeah.
Right, thank you, Brent.
Excellent work, Brendan. Thank you for making it so easy to do things with IoT and all these devices.
Okay.
Very much appreciated.
Next up, Melissa. Wait, Melissa, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, hi.
Hi. So I've been doing a lot of 3D printing lately. And one of the projects I did this pumpkin here, and I have a Circuit Playground Blue Fruit inside of it. So I can actually, with like my watch, I can just change the color.
Ooh, fancy. Nice pumpkin.
Yeah.
What time is it? It's pumpkin time.
Pumpkin o'clock.
So it's got the blue pumpkin there. A couple other things that I 3D printed lately are some Halloween decorations. I printed this off, which is multicolored here.
Well, that's nice.
And I also printed this off.
Nice detail. And yes, lots of colors. It's kind of like
So these are all 5-color prints.
Pumpkin Patch Demon.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, you're so totally set for the best holiday of the year, which is Halloween. You got LEDs and 3D prints. All right. Thank you, Melissa, for checking in. Next up, and Pedro, 3D printing up a storm on your side as well. What are you up to?
Yeah, one second. Let's go ahead and share the screen. Application window.
Whoops.
JP's at your
He
screen.
wanted to hang out.
Come back in.
JP, how'd you get my screen? Yeah, so I got this candy bowl, and I didn't 3D print this one. This was not 3D printed. This is actually something you can get from a supermarket, specifically Target. Where's my camera? There it is. And the cool thing is it already has some electronics in it, but they're not awesome. They're not that. So it had a mechanical eye that had an iris that opens. I was like, that's really cool. How about I fit the Halloween M4 in there? So that's what we did. And the Halloween M4 has the built-in side light NeoPixel, so that makes this whole thing like kind of illuminate. And let's see if I can get, I probably can get that open. I wanted to do some color stuff here. Let me go manual. There we go. There you go. So you can see the eye much better there. Okay, cool.
Oh, yeah.
Bah. Yeah. So there is actually one thing that is 3D printed, and that's the mount that is press fitted in here. And the thing about that is, though, if you don't have a 3D printer, we also have a paper template. So we have a PDF that you can print out and cut it out of cardboard or what do we use? Foam core. So you could do that as well. So the 3D print is just a small little piece here that's in the back there that holds this guy in place. And we're using our M25 nylon screws. And the other thing is you can touch these guys. You can actually touch these and change the animation. Yeah, so very, very cool. Big shout out to John Sampson, who actually wrote the code. And Lamar, you went in there and tweaked it a bit so that the cap touch works a little bit better. So it's I uploaded it as a UF2 file. So what's really cool about it is you don't have to kind of install it. You can just set it up in the boot motor load and drop a file in there and get the code running.
Yay,
really nice.
That's a great upcycle because it looks like it belongs. It's like, oh, that came with it.
It totally belongs. It has to be in there.
Oh,
I'm watching you.
Wow.
There you go. It's like
a lot of
sound effects that match.
Yeah, there's a lot of room in there for other things. You might see this again next year.
Oh, it's you. I've been waiting.
I know all the things. I don't know. Yeah.
Candy.
I don't have any candy. Sorry.
Well, that's because it's Halloween in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But you're ready, no question. Okay, thanks for the
Oh, cool. I didn't see that.
cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, I gotta walk a dog. Bye, guys.
Go walk. The dog is patiently waiting.
All right.
Okay, next up, JP.
I tried to sneak in, but now
Now it's your time.
Now it's my cue. Here I am.
Okay.
Hello, and hey, it really does seem like Halloween is on us, and so I decided to do a little quick MakeCode Arcade Halloween project. MakeCode Arcade just released a brand new overhauled pixel editor for the sprites, as well as an animation editor. They're really nice, much more feature filled than the previous ones, and most importantly, you can now zoom in on and zoom out of your canvas, which makes it a heck of a lot easier for making most pixel art. And there's also a new animation system, which has sort of canned motions that you can apply to things, which look pretty nice. So if you can switch and show my screen share, there we go. So this is my little Halloween scene that I've made. And so you'll notice I've got some little repeating animations of bats flapping wings and the flickering lights of my pumpkin. And when I press any of the D-pads, I'm going to apply some of these canned animations to this little bat. So this one's called parachute down, and you can do it in a couple directions. This one's a ease up. I've got a button that returns them to center. So these are pretty cool, and I can imagine people will start finding good ways to use these inside of actual games. Mine's just more like a digital greeting card. And I also have a little Easter egg feature. If you press the B key, you can see where all these the words boo are coming from.
Oh, it's a ghost.
My little ghost. And so I thought this would be a fun way to try out the new pixel editors, and I encourage people to go check it out if you've ever gone to an external editor and made your art and then brought it into MakeCode Arcade. You can get great results, but it's also a bit of a journey. So it's really nice to see a native editor inside of there that's going to, I think, improve people's quality of their art.
I love that I love that MakeCode Arcade. They continuously are working on improving the experience, which is really, really good to see, because it's like sometimes it's like, okay, here's the gaming platform, we're out of here.
Right. No.
Never hear from me again.
Yep.
but they actually are constantly working on
Yeah,
and
this is
improving
really
it.
powerful, and the fact that you can think about the seasonal video game you want to make.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's Halloween. I'm going to do a Halloween video game. That's
And
right.
you can share it with just a UF2 file, so you can
Yeah.
to someone else pretty easily. It's actually even better than that. You can save it as a PNG file, so it has the thumbnail of what it looks like, and
Yeah.
that can be dragged right into the editor.
All right. So tomorrow at 4 p.m. you're going to be showing
Yeah.
all this and more
I'll be
on.
doing all this and more and some
Workshop.
Circuit Playground stuff. And just incidentally, I printed a goose. I was so inspired by 3D Hangouts this morning with Noah and Pedro that I went and made my own little goose. So I'm
Nice
very-
goose.
Nice goose. Honk, honk, honk.
Actually, sorry,
Yeah.
mean goose.
We'll be showing your video that you made last week, and also the time lapse of the goose print that you're showing.
Excellent. That's good
Okay,
stuff.
cool.
Thank you so much, JP.
Yay.
All right.
Okay,
Next
next up, Eduardo.
Eduardo, what you got
Hello. Ooh, you're hot.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, you are not looking at Halloween Ghost Vision.
You sure?
That's me.
Looks like a ghost.
I'll take off my glasses and prove it.
Oh, wow,
See?
that's funny because your
Don't
glasses
I
are
look
cold.
normal? Well, what you're
Yeah.
seeing is my biggest project so far, and that is a thermal imaging camera, do-it-yourself, open source, for under $100.
Mm.
And you're looking at a cheap TFT screen. Along with it is a Teensy 3.2 that I got from Adafruit. On the side there is a little micro SD card reader. There's a couple of tactile buttons. But the heart of the system is this guy right here. And might be a little hard to see, but that is a breakout board from Pi Moroni that carries a Melexis MLX 90640, which is a thermal sensor that forms an image. And it's kind of like the grid eye. It's just kind of like one step up in resolution.
Mm.
And I got it to work, and I wrote a sketch using Arduino code for Teensy that, well, you can see there's a couple of labels on the bottom of the screen there. Those are where
Yeah.
the tactile buttons will go when I get it off the prototyping board. But the buttons are here. And with one button, I can capture a selfie. And you might see a little icon, a green icon underneath the camera, flash green when I push it, which means
yeah.
that a little BMP image file just went to the SD card. But I hacked my BMP files. It'll show on any screen, but it also carries some floating point thermal information that I can analyze later. The menu button brings up my configuration menu that's got quite a lot of different options there for different color
fancy.
palettes, different preset thermal ranges. I can mirror the screen so it can be sort of a selfie cam if you want to change from Fahrenheit to Celsius. And the top option is display the last capture. So the thing I just recorded, there it is. That's me.
Nice.
That part is exciting, but I wanted to go even farther and say, if somebody was going to build this, wouldn't they want to take the thermal data and analyze it a little bit more in depth later? So here is a Windows machine running my sketch in processing. And I'll move you a little closer. I hope you can see it.
Mm-hmm.
This sketch, I can download the augmented BMP files that I just took to a drive here. And with my little navigation buttons on screen, I can go through a sequence of images I took of me moving my hand and pressing it on the table and doing that old thermal camera trick of leaving a warm handprint behind. And there it is.
Print.
Okay, but this thing allows me to go and hover over the image and find out what the temperature of every single pixel was. And it's also telling me what the hottest, the coldest, and the center pixel in every single frame is. And that's fun for somebody that wants to do a more in-depth analysis of the data they captured. But I've also got another tool, and I don't know, I'm trying to share a QuickTime window.
Yeah, if you share your screen in
There it is.
Tool, I can add it to us. Yeah.
Okay, can you see that?
Yeah.
All right, this is a whole lot more BMP images in a time lapse, and I'll try and move my pointer out of the way. That's showing what happened over about a 40-minute stretch of me pointing the thing at my refrigerator. Oh, goodness sakes, the compressor kicked on and it's venting heat out the side. But at the same time, I'm tracking in the little graph what the hottest temperature for every frame was, the coldest, and what the center point was. So it's like a little non-contact thermometer with a picture.
Yeah.
This is great.
It's also got a histogram on the side so you can see which are the most popular temperatures in the image. And there's also little dots there that mark where the hottest hot pixel and the least hot pixel are over the course of the time lapse. Oh, there it goes again. Yeah.
Anthony says this is a very cool project, but he's wrong. This is a very hot project.
Yes. And it works really well. But something I'd like to do is migrate this over to Adafruit products, Feathers with AtSam processors. I tried doing it the naive way and just running the teensy code, and it functioned. But yeah, there was something incompatible about it. It was very slow and it had glitches, and I'm going to need help to get it functioning, because the crazy cobbled together prototype board that I've got could be completely replaced with a Pygamer.
Yeah.
And I think it'd be so much more efficient if I was using Feather type products to build the thing. Can I enter? Is there a way I could get a dialogue with people there? And
we have
there's a few things you can do. Yeah, go email support@adafruit.com and you get it as seen on the show and tell sticker. You can see how warm or cold it is.
Okay.
And then go to our Discord, adafruit.it/Discord, and that's where our 24/7 chat rooms are, where you can chat with folks. And then, if you remember, email pt@adafruit.com, and I will send you how to place a free order, and I'm going to send you some free electronics to help you out with this project.
Okay. I'm going to need some people that know the insides of Feather products.
And that's where Discord is, that's where we're able to do most stuff. But if you get hung up, once you have the products, you can also go to the Adafruit forums.
Yeah, we have engineers that are like experts at this.
So there's a community side where people can help you out, and there's a lot of talented folks. And then also in our Adafruit customer forums, that's where you can get very specific answers, including things from Lady Ada, when you have the stuff in hand. So
it's true.
We would very much like to see this. This is a excellent project, Eduardo.
Yeah, I love all the extra effort you put in to just make it a step above. Like you're like, okay, I'm gonna do the analysis and the graphing. I love that.
I have kind of a vision of this to be the low-cost thermal imaging for educators, for high schools, for developing countries, for places where the cost has been putting it out of reach, and want to make that available.
Yeah. Being able to do things with CircuitPython or Python, for example, that means then you can do Jupyter notebooks and you don't have to use these very expensive tools to do things as well. So we'll send over some ideas with that. But outstanding work. Thank you so much for sharing this.
Good work with that. And good presentation. Thank you, Eduardo. All right. Amazing. Hot, cold, honking, 3D printed projects.
That's right. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. That was our show and tell for the week. Thanks for making this the best half an hour of our week. Every single week, we are here every single Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time.
Nonstop. Been there for a decade. We can't quit.
Yeah.
You're going to see us die here.
Yeah. Adafruit.it/Discord is where we're at. We mentioned that in the chat. And we will see everyone on Ask an Engineer in just a few minutes.
10 minutes. So check by for an hour more of Maker goodness.
Bye-bye.